Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I hope everyone is doing okay. Okay, this video is, are you financially devastated? Are you running out of food before payday? Are you stuck in a rut? And then, what I expect in the future. This isn't what will happen in the future. This is what I expect in the future. Okay, so this was a video I did many years ago. I want to show you guys something. I'm doing housework. It's very awful. So, I was going through everything I own and I purged it all and I took it to the thrift store. And in my garage, I found the YouTube recipes from when I started YouTube 12 years ago. This is a lot of recipes. And then I have to get a new notebook because these are the recipes you guys have seen me do recently. So we put stuff in notebooks. And this was a video I did a long time ago. Okay, so what do I expect in the future? Endless fighting, endless wars with small periods of rest. Okay, how did I come to this conclusion? Easily, I watched James Casbolt, Super Soldier, Michael Prince, aka James Casbolt, Project Ibis, and it's on my X. I have some frozen iced tea. So I made 4 cups of tea. And what I do is I freeze like a big gulp cup because now tea is $3 and I buy Walmart tea and I use 2 tea bags for 4 cups and it's 4 cents. So does it seem like we have been enduring endless fighting, endless war with small periods of rest? Not so much small periods of rest, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens if it's going to get really bad. The one election that was really bad was not this last one, but the one before when there was the looting and burning here. Okay, so and you can take a look at the video if you want. I thought it was pretty, he did this video a long time ago. He's been incarcerated and everything else since. Okay, do I think there is going to be a higher or a lower cost of living? Higher or lower or the same? What I think is going to do, what's going to happen is they are going to evaluate the markets and the prices are going to be as high as the market can bear. So they evaluate the money people have, the money people they can spend, and what they want to do is basically get it all if they can, or as much of it as they can, hoping that people will just be glad because they still have a roof over their heads, they have food, they're like treading water, but they're not sinking. Okay, and so what can we do about it? Okay, on your computer, you have a reset data button. So you press reset and you go back to the beginning of whatever you're working on. So we can do the same thing when we start getting into, hopefully sooner than later, you know, if you see yourself losing ground. I know a couple people who were just happy because they found a garage or found a spare bedroom. So long before it comes to that, we can take steps and we can go back to like, okay, this has probably been going on since before the pandemic. So the inflation is higher and the cost of everything is higher. So what can we do? We go back to basics. Basics are rent, utilities, food, water. I'm low on water. car gasoline and save a little, no matter what. It doesn't have to be a lot, just save a little. And we're going to go back to basics. I'm going to get into that in a minute. I expect a gas shortage. Why? Because of the conflict in the Mideast. When they want to punish us, we're probably going to have a gas shortage. Okay, what can we do? Stockpile food, a majority of cans, I would suggest, because nothing's going to happen to your cans, and we're going to be using them. I'm going to show you. Don't make any major purchases. Okay, even like now, if you do have to buy a car, and I was talking to someone, and I could tell she wasn't listening to me. I go, get a cheap car from CarMax.com. They deliver it to the house the next day. Get a Corolla. The reason I said that is because a Corolla will go forever. If you keep transmission fluid and you keep oil in them, they'll go forever. And my son just did it. So, you know, maybe your car conks out, but even a Corolla is $400 a month. I said to my son, why my Corolla, which has been paid for a while, was at $150 a month. But by the time everything is paid, I mean, that's a low pay car payment. All right, don't use your credit cards. Why? Because you might need them. Just, you know, unless like if you do cash back on your credit card and you buy what you would normally buy, and then, you know, you get the free points or cash back, and then you can use it for a vacation. Okay, next bad thing, prepare for a power outage. Why? Well, our country just knocked out the U country power, but the U country tried to send a missile into the our country power plant, so it's a war. And so we see that the grid is down, and winter is in a month. The peace talks are coming in November, so if there is peace there, we'll still have the Mideast, but if that is resolved, expect a short period of rest. And keep on with your preparations, because it's just a short period of rest. And so in the video, they said, well, why did they tell you that? And he said, so that we were prepared. We know there's no end to it, actually. Don't we know there's no end to this? If you're a Christian, you say, yeah, because it's like birth pains. They're going to get, we have wars every few years. Okay, so we're preparing for a grid down. The worst would be food shortages, but the worst would be water. Something happens to the water. So when your power is down, you don't get any running water. That's a bad thing. Today I drove by, I was at the thrift store. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I saw the people in line for the food pantry there. There was nothing to stop me from getting in line and getting food for a month if I wanted to. But I really don't need food right now. And the line was pretty long, not too long, maybe like, I don't know, not too long. It wouldn't take too long to get through. It's no longer than the one that I usually go to. So I wanted to mention that if you need food. Okay, now, when the day of disaster comes. So what we want to kind of prepare is for the day of disaster. Okay, if you live long enough, the day of disaster will come. One day my dad dropped dead, stuff like that. My ex-husband got sick, but you know, as far as sicknesses goes, it wasn't good, but compared to some people, it wasn't prolonged. My ex-husband's parents were sick 15 years. Now that was the day of disaster that lasted for a while. Okay, so like, let's think about when the day of disaster comes. Usually nobody can help you. Okay, you're ill. I could get ill, you never know. But what I do is I pray the rosary, because at times like that, when there's nothing you can do, you can try praying. I have a prayer when it's really bad. Please send your angels to help me. And if that doesn't work, can you come yourself? And then I'm trying to memorize Psalm 91. Not knowing what could happen, perhaps some of us will literally stand up out of a rubble and survive. Okay, but just saying, the judgments are generally for the doers of evil. But if you're bombed, anything can happen. Okay, so now what I'm doing is day 2 of keep doing what works, then do it better. Okay, buy the cheaper one, buy the cheapest one, buy forever things, and buy used. Okay, so now what I do is, like, if things are really bad, I bake the bread. Yes. And you might go, well, that's stupid, just go buy a loaf of bread. If you get used to making the bread and then something was to happen, you make some bread. So here's a little loaf of bread that I made today. And I use my old-fashioned. This is a kind of new recipe. I mean, I haven't had it a year. So here it is. What I do is I heat the water in the microwave, 1/2 cup water. I add 1/2 tablespoon sugar, but in the olden days, they didn't. Sugar can be short during depressions. Then I cover the water. Don't put the yeast in hot water, put it in warm water. Then let the yeast rise, and then put the yeast in the water. When it's cooled down to a warm bath, cover it. Then all you have to do is I add my salt to the water, and then I have it in a large bowl, and I start adding 1/2 cup flour. I mean 1 3/4 cup flour, but add it little by little. So what I did is I used all the water. What's really good is if you have whey. So I make the bread, and then I make some meat and some gravy. So I mentioned to you that I am going to the Scientology meal plan. So I will be making dinner chicken every other day. So I'm just going to give you a shot of it because we've been going over this. So chicken, baked or grilled, occasionally beef or fish. So I'm going to have on the 3rd days, 2 days beef this week, and 1 day sausages, pasta or rice. I had pasta, I think it was last night. I really don't like pasta. So I'm probably going to have rice and potatoes, basic vegetables, green beans, carrots, and peas. Occasionally, here's 3 meals: burgers, tacos, or pizza, side items, salad, steamed vegetables, bread or rolls, and then here's the snacks. So there's my chicken. So when I found my thing of recipes, I thought, oh goody, here's my recipes. So this was an old recipe. Everything in the stockpile. Chicken paprikash, 4 each, chicken drumsticks and thighs. So you could make a lot more than this. They removed the skin. I didn't. 1 can of 25% less sodium. A cream of mushroom. I use cream of chicken because that was easy to find. 2 tablespoons paprika. I use 1. I thought that was enough. And then 1/2 cup non-fat sour cream. Place the chicken. This is what my kind of recipe. Place the chicken in a 3 1/2 quart slow cooker. I made mine in the oven. Stir the soup and the paprika in a small bowl until blended. Spoon mixture over the chicken and cover. Cover and cook 8 to 10 hours until chicken is tender. Remove chicken with a slotted spoon to serve on a platter. Whisk sour cream into the cooking liquid and serve over the chicken. All right, let me give you the recipe. I don't know why I wasn't looking at the screen from behind. What happened is I need a new phone, but I'm waiting until the AI phone comes out. I got the app. You guys, look. I got 1 rose. And for my rose bushes, that was good. Good. All right, so, okay, so I'm having chicken. Baked chicken is the best for me because I can do other things while it's baking. And then I just want to add, it'd be about a 1/4 cup. What is it? Is it cream cheese or sour cream? Oh, sour cream. But you could use cream cheese. So that is 2 things I like to keep in my house is cream cheese and sour cream. Oh no. Where is it? There it is. This morning was the 7th load of stuff I took to the thrift store. And so all over the thrift store I could see my stuff, and I thought it looks a hell of a lot better in here than it did at my house. It was making, maybe some of you are like me, the reason my stuff piled up so bad is because I never get rid of stuff. And then today, you know, I took the stuff in, and before I even got done shopping, the man behind me was buying one of the books I donated. So I thought that was awesome. So, I am pretty easy on my stuff, and so I have hopes that I will be able to get the entire house clean in a short while, a few days probably. And I cleaned up the garage today, which was no fun, and I got all the garbage. I had garbage, I'm not gonna lie, I had garbage in my car. Okay, let me just zap this for 1 minute. And then I made 3 tablespoons of rice. So if I don't eat all this tonight, that is okay. I will eat it tomorrow. So I make bread in the morning. I bought sandwich bread because, you know, I was making sandwiches. And I thought, this is not what I really want to do. We'll get into that in 1 minute. All right, can I please find butter in this refrigerator? Oh, all right. All right. So, if you buy your chicken cheap and you eat chicken, if you like chicken, if not, substitute something you like. Okay, so now I will put some of this this sauce on my rice. If you can get yourself, okay, so you normally, all of my life, it was potatoes and gravy. This butter is seen, oh, this is all ghee butter. That should be good. All right, and then I have pepper over here somewhere. I like pepper on all my food. Okay, so now let me get some homemade bread. So, I want to start making the bread again. All right. Times are getting very tough. You get up and you make your bread. John 6:35. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whosoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. Spiritually speaking, but that's okay. So you're making your bread, and what you're doing is you're constantly reminding yourself where your real help is coming from. You know, if you have somebody in your charge of your company or your country that wants to wage war, there's nothing you can do about it. Try to survive. That's what happened when my ex-husband was in the Vietnam War. So here we have it. And then I'm not having it now because I already ate some right before dinner. This is some 4-bean salad. And so it would be green beans, chicken, and rice. So that is pretty much the way I have eaten my entire life. Okay, so now I want to, so when I make the bread, it lasts me about 2 days. So a little loaf, and then at night, my grandfather would always eat bread, milk, and sugar. I do too. When I have homemade bread, I eat that at night. Luke 24:30-32. Joining them at the table for supper, he took the bread and he blessed it, and then he gave it to them. He broke it and then he blessed it. All at once their eyes were opened and they realized he was Jesus. Then suddenly, in a flash, Jesus vanished from before their eyes. So in the old ways, they would break the bread in little pieces like sacrament bread. The Mormons just have regular bread. And then they put milk and sugar on it and feed their babies. In some kind of an emergency, it would be potatoes and gravy. So that is why we're doing this. I've been studying Scientology, and I have to say, you know, as a Christian, you go, oh, well, you know, that is not a Christian religion. That's true. Okay, I have 2 low carb. Now I want to make 2 sandwiches, little sandwiches. These are low carb tortillas, but they could be any kind of tortillas. And I remember this. This is turkey BLT wraps. 2 flour tortillas, sliced turkey, low-fat cream cheese, tomatoes, romaine lettuce, and sliced carrots. Okay, so I am going to be working on these little sandwiches. And what I'm going to do is make up a couple because, you know, you can buy this stuff in the store, but why? You can make it. I'm going to be looking for good deals. So, okay, let me tell you. So, I have cream cheese and sour cream all the time. Here's the recipe. I'm going to be making all kinds. I'm going to be searching around for lunch meat, good lunch meat. Uh-oh. I still can't see good. Okay. So once you get these made up, then you can just slip them. Today I went through all kinds of grief to get small baggies. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so we have some cream cheese. Another way you can do this, a lot of people do this, is they use mayonnaise and mustard instead of cream cheese. These low carb tortillas are kind of expensive. I want to move more to 3 tablespoons of rice. That's not overdoing it on the carbs. I feel much better. There's been some contributors. There's L. Ron Hubbard himself. If the guy comes across as a bit strange when you watch him, but if you listen to what he's saying, it makes sense. If you want to be closed-minded, that's not smart, because one of the main things about their religion is survival. So that's what I'm into, especially in old age. What he says makes a lot of sense to me, because I spent years, okay, so I bought this, I spent years in self-help. So what is self-help actually doing for you? Nothing. You're just sitting around talking. So how does it work? Well, you change the way you think. So, okay, I have some cheese that I bought marked down. So I'll be shopping for, okay, so there's L. Ron Hubbard himself. So what they do, which I think was really his main motivation, a lot of people think he was just trying to make money, but I don't think so, was to save the world. A lot of religions are like that, you know. If you adopt our philosophy, we can save the world. Go out, preach the gospel, you know. And then there's Dr. Bird, who I think Berg, who does the keto diet. I think he's such a contributor. And then there's the real estate guy, Grant Cardone. His videos are nothing but helpful if you're trying to earn money. Okay, so now I have a little bit of, Tom Cruise, you know. I loved it when he brought the flag back to LA. Nothing is easy these days. Like the Olympics, wow. I thought, do you have to do that? You're too famous and important. You're stunt by. I have a paranoia about these stunts. You know that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I was even listening to the Z News stuff, which, you know, here we go. It can seem kind of ridiculous, but if you think about the Christians, feed the poor, heal the sick, which they're trying to do, and cast out devils. Okay, they might call them by different names, but kind of. Okay, so I got this marked down. What I'm saying is, don't be closed-minded. Not now. I don't think it's a good idea. So, you know, we want to eat more salads, but truthfully, really giant salads do not work for me. I hate them, and I'm very unhappy when I eat them. So these are good, and then I have some tomatoes. These are good little wraps. They're not expensive. They're little, so they're like the perfect. Now I find my salt and pepper. That's okay, better late than never. And pepper. I think I'm going to be able to roll these up if I can easily find the toothpicks. Okay. I'm working on the cupboards next. All right, so I'm just going to leave them flat for now. You know, I could make them into little sandwiches too. I think that's a good idea. Why make things difficult? You can add Italian dressing if you want to. I don't want to. I just want some little sandwiches. So, you know, when I get home, today I had a weird day. I have been doing all kinds of stuff, like the thrift store, the thrift store donations. So I will just put this one like this so you can see. So these sandwiches will stay good until tomorrow easily. Okay, so, and so I have lots of recipes, and you guys will remember these. If you have, some of my followers have been following me for 12 years. Thank you for following me for one day. Okay, now, this morning was the 7th day of this unloading of the junk. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through room by room by room. I have 2 bathrooms cleaned. I have the living room pretty much getting ready for Christmas. The dining room, I have a lot of food in there. That's going to be next. Then I will give the kitchen. And so what I'm doing is I'm going through pretty much and just starting to trash stuff. You know, stuff that, we all have stuff that's not worth donating. So, okay, I'm still doing the $7 a day thing, but when I was making the donation, I found these candles. Whoops. And so I'm trying to buy forever stuff. So I go, those are cute. You know I'm doing the flowers. And then I have 9 candlesticks on my mantle. And I have all the Christmas tree stuff because I bought that last year. And then I sell vintage watches, so I will show you. This is nice. This is a Pulsar watch I bought today. This is the stuff I want to sell. I have 5. And I bought this thinking I would sell it like as a set. And I thought, no, I don't think now is the time to sell the jewelry. So those kind of busted my budget. $11 for the brasses forever. And if you buy good, I try to find Seiko, Pulsar, any decent watch used. Okay, so I am looking for candles for Christmas. Not looking to bust my budget, but I thought if I get the candles, I'm pretty good to go for Christmas. I went to Dollar Tree to try and get some baggies because I'm buying everything as cheap as I can, trying only to spend $7 a day. And what happened was, so I really need these baggies. I use these a lot. And if you get the kind that have the zippers, I needed these because, you know, I bought the tray of chicken. So I put my chicken in water and salt, and I leave it there for a while. So now I can put my sandwiches in here for tomorrow. And my sandwiches will stay fresh. And, you know, I am going to be, when you do too much stuff at once, you're going to make messes, like terrible messes. So, okay, so I need these baggies. I use them for all kinds of stuff. So I don't want anything happening to my chicken that I bought really cheap. So if you find your chicken, your food marked down, so you know you're going to have chicken 4 times a week. So, you know, I got $3 off on the chicken. And then I'm buying the cheaper soda. That works if I keep it in the freezer and it's really cold. So then I just zipper this close and it's good for tomorrow for lunch. There you have it. But the bad news is, okay, so I couldn't, here we have 2 Dollar Trees in town and they're both all tore up. There's awful, there's no food on the shelves. I don't know what's going on. I heard that new stores are coming in. There was big 99-cent only stores that Dollar Tree was taking over. And I thought, I am not paying full price for damaged, beat up packages that look like they've been smashed. So this was $5.19. And also I found toilet paper for about $5.99 at Grocery Outlet that I thought was one of the best deals. So I just bought these, and so today, by the time I bought my Christmas stuff and the watch, the $7 a day was totally out of control. And I thought, well, I'll just start over tomorrow. Okay, now I want to talk about termites. You're trying to cut your budget. You're trying to keep from spending too much because, you know, you don't want to end up broke. You don't want to end up, financially devastated, running out of food before payday, and stuck in a rut. So these will suck up your money at the worst possible times. So the way I will counteract this is I buy 2 a day. So the baggies are usually 10 in a package, so that's 50. So but that's not what I want to do. So I want to buy 6 gallons of bleach and 6 cans of Comet. Out here, the ones with the zippers are more expensive. Out here, there was like an issue with Comet. I couldn't easily find it. They were out. Toilet paper, paper towels, napkins, shampoo, conditioner, bath soap, toothpaste, dental floss, deodorant, dish soap, laundry detergent. Does this stuff sound familiar? And the thing is, it's taking a bite out of your food thing. So if you can stockpile it a little bit, face cream, lotion, alcohol, masks, gloves, can openers. During the pandemic, the can openers were really inflated, like $12.99 and $5.99 was the cheapest. My daughter-in-law needed one, and matches. So here is a list of the stuff you want to look for, 1 or 2 every time you go to the store, and then they add up. And so you don't have to be messing around with those when money is tight. All right. All right. So bake some bread, make some meat and gravy, and then the indoor garden. So think about, the power is out. You can't go to the store, but you have been practicing growing an indoor garden. Look at this mess. Also, they were saying, one of the men at the gym was telling me, is when there's no bees or butterflies. And in years gone by, I've had tons of bees. In fact, they were practically trying to sting me while I was watering the garden. So that is a problem too. So back to this, what can we do? Pretend your life is a computer and you're going to hit reset. And you've got all this credit card debt. There's this one lady, she's got a new channel. Her channel is kind of doing very well. For one thing, she's very honest. She has a $1,200 a month income, and she has $400 credit card debt. So this is how the inflation is really killing people. Okay, for $400, you're going to have quite a bit of credit charged, which you probably couldn't afford to do. So in the case of that, this is what I would do. I would create the credit card. I would treat the credit card debt like the elephant in the room. We know it's there. I don't know if the $400 is a car payment, but if you've only got $800 left, there's not much you can do. You can, don't kill me, Dave Ramsey. You can default. Yeah, that's too much debt to carry when you're that poor. You can start, going back to basics. Go get your food at the food pantry. And then when you're standing in the food pantry line, say, does this have anything to do with when I didn't go to the food pantry and I didn't get EBT? And, if you're not working and every little thing costs money. Okay, so going back to, we're going back and we're saying, okay, now like in my case, I didn't want to retire. My son made me. He goes, you've got to retire. And kind of it's a good thing that I did it when I did do it. So think about, okay, you've got a big reduction in income now. So what you have to do is you have to dial down your life. So, like, you could afford to go to church, you know. You could probably afford a gym for like, oh, and the basic membership doubled from $10 to $20 now. Maybe you can't afford that. Not like, I don't care. Okay, even if you're living in senior housing, they're going to take about 33% of your money. So that's only going to leave you $800. And then you've got $400 credit. You don't have to default on all of your credit cards. That's all I'm saying. Is that what I would do? I don't think so. Depends how short it was making me. But if I, like here, we have, I think the reason her channel is successful is because she's telling people, honestly, she's telling people her life. But I am telling you honestly what I do. So I want to talk about these blouses. I go to the gym, so I realize if you go to these t-shirt things, you can wear them in regular life and the gym life. And then just get 3 shirts and 2 pants used. Okay, and then, you know, one of the things that's going to help you more than anything, which I'm sure there's some people who think what I'm saying is not important, but if you buy your food marked down, like if you're paying $1 for a bag of salad, you're trying to do dollar shopping. Say if you have EBT and you have $200 a month, so that is $50 a week. If you buy your food marked down, then you have $100 a week worth food. You have to search around a little bit, but you figure that out. Like the closest place to my house is Ralph's, and that's where I get the markdowns. So, okay, you dial back and you say, okay, what did I charge? Most people, I think, who are really poor are charging gas or food or maybe gifts. I don't think that's a good idea. And try to generate a little extra money. Even $20 a week can help. So, you know, if you do eBay and say you were finding, okay, now this watch is too expensive. I bought this for $7.50. No more than $5 to sell these vintage watches, and it can be done. But I had 5 watches that were like a lot, and I thought I want to give a bonus watch. So then I thought, after I put this watches with my other watch, I thought, no, don't sell your watches, not right now. So Betty Crocker cookbooks, some of the thrift stores sell for $1. You know, learn the thrift store and start doing that. There's all kinds of things you can do. There's one lady around here who collects cans. That's 5 cents a can. So it's better than nothing. So saving like a little bit of money each month and not using the credit cards, that would be like dialing back. What you're doing when you're using the credit cards is you're trying to protect your standard of living. But if you have shelter and you have food, water, and heat, that's all you really need. Yeah, it's not going to be that much fun. And then if you start, like, another constructive low-cost thing is the indoor garden. So if something happens and you have your year-round indoor garden, when I was cleaning, I found my 2 greenhouses, and I thought, wow, this is the last thing I want to do. And I thought, you are going to do it. And another thing about this Scientologist thing is the rat-a-tat-tat thing. And that's like get your house in ship shape. And I thought, yeah, because you're going to be living so much better. And then do everything cheap you can think of, like wash your car with a bucket, like wash your clothes. And I used to do this. I would wash one giant load of clothes. I would jam a week's worth of clothes in there, and I would hang them dry. I mean, if it's a cheap thing, wash your stuff out by hand. Buy used everything. Don't try to keep up with. If you're living in senior housing, it might come to the point where people cannot afford cars. So you have to kind of look at that and say, can I really afford a vehicle? And if not, you have to live somewhere where you can catch buses. One of the girls was telling me it costs her $700 a month to take the Uber to work. But now they have the thing where you can order your food from the store and they bring it to the house. So you don't have to, you can't pick it out yourself, but that is a viable plan. And with this Scientology meal plan, you can do the whole meal plan by shopping the app, you know, Ralph's or Vaughn's or whatever you have. And then, you know, back to the stockpile. Okay, so if you have $400 debt and you have a stockpile and you go to the food bank and, you know, you go get EBT, then you can afford to pay your credit cards down. And they will get paid down if you don't use them. You have to stop using them. I wouldn't want to really do away with my credit either, but it comes down to the standard of living. So you know, you have to go back to a lower standard of living. That doesn't mean if you're eating, this is not that bad and it's dirt cheap. And you know, you don't have to go anywhere. If you can't afford it, you can walk. Like from my house, I can walk down anywhere. There's stores, any store I could possibly want within walking distance. So that is my honest opinion, which is probably irritating to some people. My gym membership does cost me though, because I have to spend $25 a week to get there. So that would have to go. I would have to get rid of everything. Before I would find myself living really bad, I would get rid of my phone. I would get rid of my car. I would get rid of everything. I wouldn't get rid of my birds. They cost me a lot. We would have to sacrifice. So anyway, you guys, I'll be coming up with some more stuff. I will see you tomorrow. If you have comments, they don't have to be that nice. I'm not sensitive. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all.